Broadcast live.
I'm a big snake, I'm a python. Every day the circle gets smaller, money get taller. I said fuck drip, I'ma spend one clip on the pit bull.
Hey Don,
Yo,
what's happening?
what's happening, D?
You know, we out here. You know,
Yeah,
how
I
you?
thought I thought I was the only one looking rough. It's all good. It's all good.
No, B. You know, me. I'm not looking rap. Me, I'm looking tough. I'm looking tough, B. I'm looking tough. No rap here. You know.
Yeah, quarantine has us looking all different, man. How you doing, Slick?
I'm good, my G. I'm good. I'm good. So, like, yo, you gotta just kick me off, man, and just let me know when does Don Design start making music. You know, it's just like it was just a surprise. You know.
Well, to be honest with you, I've always known that, I'd get to this position. Um, it was just a matter of time, and just figuring out a lot of things, I feel like my musical journey started when I was a kid, man, and I've always been passionate about music, from a young age. I used to carry a boombox to school and play for my niggas during break time, So, with releasing music, I started working on releasing music, I think mid last year.
Yeah.
And this is my first single, man. I do have a couple of others that I'm about to release, during the course of the year. But yeah, to be honest with you, really getting into studio, working on my stuff started last year. So this is just a continuation of my plans for 2020, I know COVID caught us up in the right hand, but in the wrong hand, sorry, but I'm just sticking to my plan. This is what I wanted to do this year, and that's it is.
So, like, I mean, a lot of people have seen you frequently, whether it's on AKA snaps or whether you like around him. At a point, you were like a creative. What role were you playing with your relationship with AKA? Because I mean, you've always been seen with him, and and yeah. So sorry, I just got interrupted there.
Okay, no worries. Look, to be
No.
honest with you, how I met Keenan was, he first of all he forgot his kicks at some show in the Free State. I managed to get them back to him, and then at that time I still had a little camera, so I was shooting like behind the scenes stuff. And I had just met Younger, and he I think he was with you guys at Ventilation when you guys were still at Marshalltown.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, man. But
yeah.
when I met him, so I told him what I'm doing, and I saw that he doesn't have anyone that's shooting like BTS for him, whether it's music videos or when he's on the road and stuff like that. So I proposed that to him, and this dude didn't call me until like 6 months later. And when he called me, I didn't even know that it was him. He's like, yo, are you still ready to do that? I'm like, what? Okay, cool, let's do it. So the first project that we initially worked on was Control music video with Elias. That was our first collaboration, me and him, and obviously Younger directing the video. With we had a company called Young Legend Films, and that's how pretty much it started. And then as time went, I realized that Younger obviously went into music, and I still wanted to continue with what I was doing. And I realized that there's no longer a demarcation between like backstage and offstage and center stage. And this new reality basically showed me that there's a rise of a new opportunity to be a creative director in South Africa, and with everything else that we did, like shutting down the Nelson Mandela Bridge to shoot a music video, those are all things that have never been heard of before. So I just wanted to take that energy and put it into this creative direction thing. I feel like a lot of artists do need that, someone that's going to keep a 360 view on an artist's career, you know, from styling to merchandising, you know, just how everything looks and feels. And I still feel like a lot of artists still need those kind of people. Although I think there are some artists that have those people in their camps that are doing that, but they just don't know it. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to take that seriously and, you know, and become a creative director. And that's what I did for him for a couple of years.
Okay.
Until this moment where I was like, okay, now I'm going to go into the DJing thing and then start DJing. And, you know, that is going well as well.
So like being creative director, and I remember you were sending me mixes, you know, that you were doing. When did you literally like jump into the, okay, I'm moving from the music now? And does that mean that you're not really working as a creative director for him anymore, or you balance?
Look, to be honest, I started DJing from a long time ago, man. When I left high school, I was enrolled in law school. And then I dropped out of law school because, you know, of my passion for music. I wanted to follow my musical career, you know, and that's where it actually started. My musical career started with me buying records and buying vinyls and actually DJing, you know. I started off DJing. I worked at a record house called For Real. They were selling like house records and stuff like that. So that's where I started off. So I started off playing house around like 2006, you know. And then I continued with that. But obviously, you know, as time goes, I found out things about myself that I didn't know, you know, some other things that I wanted to venture into, like fashion and, you know, music videos, which are all things that I've been passionate about from a young age as well, you know. And then I decided to put my DJing career on a break in order for me to do these things, which are in turn helping me now with where I am and what I'm trying to do. I need to shoot this music video for Python, and, you know, with all the experience that I've had, with all the other things that I've had, you know, I think everything that I did before all culminated in this very moment. And I feel like my career just took a 360, and I'm just at the beginning of, you know, my career right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. So it's almost like all these things that you've been doing great are all coming together now.
Yeah, they're all coming together to create one single thing. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I have.
Basically, you were saying that you're saying that you were fucking up with other people's budgets so you can be paid.
No, not really, man. I think I was just being trained to, you know, when this moment comes, I'm able to fulfill it, you know, how it's supposed to be. I think that's just how it is, you know. Some people are lucky because, you know, they figure it out at a young age, you know. I'm 33, and I feel like, you know, I was telling Scoop, I was saying to him that I feel like we're fishermen, you know. We just casting our nets, and, you know, if something catches, you know, we catch it, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and we keep moving, you know, regardless. So I feel like I casted my net, and, you know, I think I caught something, and I'm ready to run. You know what I mean? Definitely.
So with the music that you're dropping, obviously, I'm assuming, because it's DJs, you're going to be featuring more people on the music, yeah?
Yeah. I am definitely featuring a whole lot of people. I just had to feature AKA and Moozlie on my first joint because, you know, those are the people that I almost like came up with, you know what I mean? Collaborating on other things as well, you know, like music videos, styling both of them. I've produced both of their music videos, you know. So it only made sense for me to have them on my debut record, you know what I mean?
So it's a long relationship. It's a relationship that stems from far.
From very far, man, from very far. So, and it only made sense for me to have that as my first single. I have worked with other people as well. I've got a joint with LES, which is a total smash. I've got something with Okay Mom Cool Cat as well. We haven't finalized that yet, you know. So yeah, and other people as well, man. You know, even
Yeah.
younger.
And in today's time, you know, you got like all the DJs, you know, you got like, how do we categorize DJs, right? Um, is it through songs? Is it through them playing gigs? Is it them being on radio? Is it them doing events? Because, you know, you got like this, I think this, if you don't mind me saying, like an oversaturation of DJs, but they all do different things to a certain extent. Where do you position yourself?
Well, look, I'm just taking things as they come, man. You know, all I know is whatever it is that I'll be doing will be within the music industry because, you know, I believe that's my passion and that's what I was born to do. I'm not too sure if I'd go into radio, definitely into eventing, but more of the fashion stuff, you know, which I feel like is something that has slipped on in South Africa, you know, as far as like merch and things like that, you know, that's where I see myself, you know, that's the role that I'm playing in the game, definitely.
So were you involved in the AKA merch or the hit was that poncho? What was that?
Head honcho. Oh, well, the head honcho thing actually happened before we had collaborated on the merch side of things, you know. I actually think we hadn't even. No, had been working together. We just hadn't worked together as far as like merch, you know. But after that, we did the Super Mega show merch. I think that was the first pieces that we worked together on. And then obviously I started my own brand as well, Monday to Monday, which is a streetwear brand that focuses on bootlegging like skatewear and like high fashion brand and like merging the two, you know. And yeah, we've worked on even the fucking relaxed merch, you know. I did that with his brother as well. Shout out to Nikki Heat. And yeah, man, that's what we've done so far in terms of that.
The kind is pretty diverse. It's pretty diverse. But I never got the answer of what DJ you are, which DJ you are. I'm
like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, what kind of?
As in, like, you know, I mean, obviously, like, you know, are you the DJ the craft? Are you the DJ, the musician? I'm gonna be making music. Obviously, like, you know, you also be playing clubs, but like from a DJ perspective, you know, how is your positioning different or similar to DJs? Because you come with so much wealth of experience from merchandising, you know, from just video, etc., etc.
Yeah.
What if I had to say, what kind of DJ are you, or what are you bringing to the game?
Oh man, to be honest with you, not to sound like cocky or anything, I just feel like I'm the first of like my kind. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody expected me to release music when I started DJing. You know, and also a lot of people didn't really know that I had been DJing for a while. Although people started seeing me around maybe like last year, playing at a couple of gigs here and there, but it's something that I've been doing for a very long time. And I feel like I'm more of the music, you know. I want to create the music and share it with people, you know what I mean?
Mm.
That's how I see myself, definitely.
With production, are you how involved are you in the creating of the music or the beats that like people are jumping on with regards to the tracks that you'll be releasing and the last one that just dropped now with Python?
Python, yeah, I'm very involved in that. You know, I think, you know, basically I try and come up with a brief that I send to a producer who I feel is like able to bring out that sound for me. You know, like with Markwa, I gave him that sample. I think we were actually working on Touch My Blood like during that time when he made that beat. I think it was part of the package for that. But I usually just give the producers a brief And now it's tough during COVID. I can't really be in studio with them and like, you know, working on the stuff, which is something that I would like to do. I've done that before with countless of other people. Even with Keenan, when he's in studio recording his album, I'm usually there, you know, putting in my 2 cents or whatever, you know. So I am involved as far as that. I'm also trying to learn myself to, you know, to become like an actual producer and making the stuff myself. It's not an easy thing. It's something that I'm working on now, but the method that I'm using right now, I feel like it works. I feel like the people that I'm working with understand what I'm trying to, you know, to put out there, and it comes out sounding like magic.
Mm-hmm. And then
Yeah.
what happened? I never knew that you're also part of Young Legends. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Young Legends was basically myself and Younger. I was the producer. He was the director. So I was getting all the shit from all the clients, and he was the guy that was just coming in, telling everybody what to do. That was a crazy part of my life. I had never done that before. I didn't go to school for that. It's something that I just picked up, you know, on my way while I was here. And, you know, it was so much fun getting to work with like different artists and just seeing, you know, what eventually will become me. You know what I mean? So it was pretty dope, man. It was a dope experience. Although Young Legend still exists now, it's Younger's baby. He's more focused on that than anything else. But we still cool, man.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's pretty much like it was a strange name that it wasn't Young Don Legend. Don Young Legend.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't. I would lie. It wasn't. It wasn't.
That's crazy, man. So with regards to all the kind of journeys that you've been, I think that like there's always this thing where people think that you just have to be one thing in the industry.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely.
What are your stance on that view? You know, and because you literally have built yourself through so many ingredients. You know, like how hard is it for an artist just to try be one thing only and have a career? I mean, some guys send me songs and they just have songs. You know, you go to the social pages and there's no action. They don't have a social page, but they are consistently making songs. You know.
True. Dude, I think it's very important for you to not only venture out in like only making music, you know. I'm gonna give you an example. Like right now, it's COVID. You know, towards the end of last year, I had a brilliant year. I was gigging everywhere. I was flying. I was on tour with AKA. Everything was amazing. And now with COVID, I don't have no gigs. I haven't had a paycheck in like 3 months, B. But because I've got my clothing thing on the side, I can still approach someone and speak about, yo, let's do this, let's shoot a video, let's do this, or yo, you need this gear for this photo shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on. Oh, you need your merch for your new single that's just dropped. Let me do that. It's very important for you in the long run, for you to be able to venture out in other things, you know, in the music business, because we've seen how it's like for artists, you know, dying poor, you know. I've seen that. So first and foremost, I've been in the game and I've been watching how things are happening. There was absolutely no way I could not take from seeing you guys make the ventilation merch, seeing Jabba make the hoodies, you know, like there's no way I couldn't take from that. I took from that and I made sure that, you know, as much as I'm passionate about it, I need to be able to create some sort of like income streams apart from the music side of things. You know what I mean? It's very important for any artist, any musician. It's very important for you to have multiple income stream within, you know, the game that you're in.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. I mean, it's but it's building those pockets so they solid. You know, you can't just do everything with that because you just wanna be everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not even that. Yeah, but you also have to give it the same push that you give in the studio you know, when you're designing the merch, and you know, must have the same passion for all of them. I don't think there's anything that I create that I feel like is less of, you know, I don't feel like my merch is less of a career than my music or my DJing or my, you know what I mean? Everything is on the same level. Everything is on the same level. From shutting the Mandela Bridge to taking KO to Alex and shooting a freestyle video to bootlegging Nike Dior, and then Nike Dior drops a, you know, the same collab. You know, I always try and make sure that whatever I do is the first of its kind, never been done before. I always challenge myself in that manner. You know.
And I guess there's some value to that, because it shows in the you know, people. I'd really just want to say this, because people feel that let me do a million things, but it's about the callbacks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
If
definitely.
like the guy who's legit doing the visual or doing the fashion, is calling you back still, regardless. That means that
Regardless.
to the same extent, you know, you're not just doing everything, you do everything well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that is not an easy thing in itself, man. Like, to do everything well, your mind needs to be in a certain way, you know. You need to wire your mind differently and know that, you know, everything that you do is at stake. Everything that you put out there, you know. Also, I think for me, it was like the people that I collaborate with already, the pressure for them to seem very dope and cool and successful is already there. So if I creating something for them, it's like they're creating something. So the pressure has already been like, it's already high, you know, for me to create anything. So I train myself to work with the best, you know, in the game. And that's how I'll become the best at what I do.
It's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
How's been the reception for Python?
Man, it's been overwhelming, man. For me, this is like my first single to debut at #2 on Apple Music. I never expected that, especially because it's my first single. But it's been crazy, man. It's been really dope, and I'm very excited.
Whose was #1, by the way?
#1, I think, when I lost soul, was Beyonce or something like that, because she had literally just dropped on. Oh, actually, it was Jerusalem or something like that. Burna Boy dropped a joint with some South African actor. I forgot who the guy is. I think that was the number song. So I would say ideally hip hop. That was the #1 record in hip hop, you know, on Friday, which for me is a big deal, man. And it's a real honor, and it just makes me look back at all the things that I've worked on. Like, getting to that moment was surreal, man.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, Don.
Yeah.
Don, man, what else can we expect? What secrets are you hiding? What secret projects are out there that we...
Man,
about you, about your
I don't know if I
circle?
can say it, babe. Can I say?
Huh?
I'm doing a whole man. I'm about to do something crazy as far as the fashion thing is going, you know, because I always like to challenge myself. That people should be on the lookout now in September. I'm dropping something really crazy that people will not expect. You're gonna look at it and be like, "What, nigga, you made that?" So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm shooting the Python video in the next week and a half, 2 weeks to say. I was working on the video today, the treatment. And then obviously I plan to drop an EP. I'm also waiting to just see what the situation with COVID is, you know, because that obviously affects the way that we operate, the rollout, things like that. You know what I mean? I also would like to to give people like the full experience, you know. Ideally, I would have loved to do a pop-up for this merch that I did for my single, but because of COVID, I can't do that. So I think that will just like also matter as far as like me making this decision of what I do. But I will be releasing more music this year, definitely. I will be shooting more music videos. As soon as the gates open, I'm trying to have a tour overseas, man. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do, man.
That's dope, my G. That's dope. Don, we're going to catch you in the sky, B, doing your damn
man.
thing.
Let's do. It was such a pleasure talking to you, Slikour.
Thanks, my bro. Thanks. We're going to catch up in the streets like we do.
Yeah, one love, B. Appreciate it.
Peace, my G. Nice one.
Broadcast live